to run these cameras. Rich, are you good at Facebook Live? Can you come here? I don't know why this is shooting the wrong way. For some reason on the iPads I have this issue. Tell me what's going on. Yeah, it's live now. Just you coming over. There's no. You're good there. Thanks, buddy. So you need to run. Put that there. Just running back and forth. This is very loose to run right now. And then this I'm going to make looser. Wait. So you can do that too. This is YouTube, this is Instagram, this is Facebook. So YouTube, Insta, and eventually we're having a full-time person. So we don't have to do it. Good?
Love that.
Alright, you guys ready to get started? Hello! You guys ready? Alright. We live? Alright, we're good. Alright, is it hot enough in here?
Yeah.
Oh, it's good looking people.
I like that.
Oh, you like that stuff? Staffer got a haircut just for today. I like it.
Hanging out in silver once a week.
Keeping it tight, I like it. Alright, so how's everybody? Good. Good? Good? Alright, what are these people doing up here today? Anybody want to guess?
Posing for pictures?
Huh? Anybody? So today we're going to go over who would like to learn how to have a little bit more balance in your life, in business, and in personal. Raise your hand. If you don't, might as well go home, just save an hour. So what we're going to do today is I wanted to bring them up. If you guys ever want to get up on a panel, you guys want to share what you do well or what you think you need help with, because we're going to be raw up here today. We're going to tell you what we do well and what we don't do well. Please let us know when we do these workshops. I'd like to continue to have different faces. Is that cool? Because not everybody wants to see the same face up there. Is that fair? Does anybody want to see Stafford up there every month?
Yes, you do.
All right, so numbers. How did we do for last month? Mackenzie, you have the numbers?
No?
No. All right, we did great. How much money did we give back last month?
Ooh,
40 grand, right? So, in all seriousness, we did over 400 transactions last month, right around there, for the month. So give you guys a round of applause. Do you guys know, like, Do you know how crazy that is? 400 units per month. You guys understand like how crazy? Do you guys know what place you guys are right now? Huh? Number one in the MLS and what?
Region?
In units. All the MLS, you guys are number one. So give you a round of applause. That's crazy. How long you guys been in business together?
2 years.
2 years. Who's been doing this business longer than 5 years? Raise your hand. Keep them up. 10? Keep them up. 15? Alright, there's a couple of us, right? In the last 15 years, have you guys seen anybody come around this quick and make an impact this quick? Have you?
No.
No? Right? And I remember that when someone said this was going to start off and be this way, I was like, there's no way in 2 to 3 years you're going to be able to do that quick. So, you guys have the right people. You had the right leadership. You still have the right leadership. You guys know Brian Walters over there, right? So, Brian is playing a huge role continuing with us and helping us grow as an organization and a group. But just with the amount of business you guys are doing, we need more support for you guys. We're putting more things in place because you can never be happy. Blockbuster was happy, what happened to them? Right? Sears was happy, what happened to them? Which I actually just read an article the other day. Sears said one of the reasons why they can't stay in business, but I think it's baloney because they missed the boat, $4.5 billion a year they have to pay out the pensions. But they never adjusted, right? So we're adjusting. Where's Jesse? Here's Jesse Barnes. Everybody know Jesse? So Jesse came on before I was here, came on with another group. I know him from realtor days. He used to work at OCF. Then he worked at CB, worked with me over there. Then he came over here, then I came over here. And an opportunity came up for another layer of support for you guys. Number one, training. Number two, support overall we're putting in place. And number three, obviously, helping with the referrals you guys have given us. I've never seen anything like this. You guys gave us already, is it 48, 45 referrals already this month? It's crazy. So here's the thing I want you to give you a heads up before we get into this. You guys are doing a great job in referrals. All you have to do is, who follows basketball here? All right. Who followed basketball in the Walters? 80s, Stockton Malone? Is that 80s, 90s? 90s. Stockton and Malone, okay? All we need you guys to be is Stockton. Let him and I and Walters be Malone, okay? Walters has always wanted to be Carl Malone. And he does a very good job. So all we need you guys to do is literally just give us a name and number. The best way to introduce someone's on a text. And then what we do is Jesse and I take that information, we put it into a software format that we have to keep track of it, and you guys get paid on the downline of the person. That's all you gotta do. Let us recruit, let us see if we can help them, let us figure out if they're the right fit. Let you go out and sell houses, and just make sure that you guys are getting paid on it. If someone wants to select Jesse and I for it, it won't happen because you guys gave the referral. Is that fair? So all we need you guys to do is continue to do what you're doing well. It's unbelievable. Let us help figure out if that person's the right fit here. We're not here just to sign anybody up. We're trying to figure out if they're the right person. Is that fair? And then you guys can sell houses. It's a win-win and you guys get paid. Cool? All right, so numbers, we talked about that. How are you? You guys said unbelievable. You feel amazing. Number three, new people that join. Where is Mackenzie? There she is. She's doing like 16 jobs. Give it around for Mackenzie. So Mackenzie said she's bored recently, so she said she wants to be an AV, videography, social media. She's helped me out because Nick the intern, huh?
Do you want to put it up there?
Yeah, can you?
Yeah.
We're missing Nick the intern. All right, here we go. Nick, if you're watching this, we miss you. All right, so this is the amount of people that joined in the month of August. Correct? The month of August. Give a round of applause. Trying to get everybody to get a cool picture in their new red t-shirt. We've got to order more because they're starting to dwindle. So we've got to hop on that. So congrats to everybody. The check we went over, balance. All right, let's get the balance. So here's what we have left today. Balance we're going to talk about and bold. You guys got any text messages or emails about bold?
Yes.
Right? Walters and I, huh?
We're gonna get a lot more.
So Brian and I are so committed. Friday night we have planned to have drinks and we're gonna get tattoo that says bold on our arm.
Jake said he's in as well.
Jake, oh, you're in now? All right.
We're in too.
You're in too?
Our whole team is in.
Yeah.
All right. I like, alright. Who else is in? Alright, got another one. Stacy? Gizmani's like, whatever, I'm new, I'll do whatever.
They rub off? Do they rub off?
They're henna.
They're
Tattoos for life, man.
Oh, I'll get a fake one. I didn't even know that was existence. Alright, so anyways, we're gonna talk about bold, we're gonna talk about balance, and then we're gonna give you a quick update from any of the business partners where next meetings are. We're not gonna have them speak today and tell them what's going on. You guys are here, we're keeping you an hour. They're just gonna give you a heads up if you wanna go to any insurance meetings, any title meetings, or any mortgage meetings. We'll go over that today real quick, okay? Alright, so balance. Who wants more balance in your personal life? Raise your hand. So you guys keep an eye out. Alright, raise your hand high. I see a lot like half. There you go. Alright, cool. Alright, how about business? See, this is interesting. This is why I want to have this. So I think alright, cool. A lot of times it's more like personal than it's business. So I asked, because I've had random conversations with most of this group about different things on a personal and business life, and they were more than happy to share up here with it. I think today what we're going to do, if it's okay with you guys, is we'll bring business in, but a lot of the questions I have prepped for them are a little bit more personal. Is that cool with you? Alright, so done with me. We're going to ask you guys, who's a favorite, not Vanna White, who can I be that is the top?
Pat Sajak.
Pat Sajak? Yeah, Pat Sajak. Pat Sajak.
Jerry Springer.
Alex
Jerry
Trebek.
Springer. Alright, I'll be Jerry Springer. Alright, so here's question number one. So first off, introduce yourself and I'll ask the questions.
I can start. My name is Mark Gabriel. Came on last month, so I'm really excited to be here.
Cool.
I'm Thompson.
When'd you join?
Joined in March of last year, but I had another business I was balancing, so I got going in like July last year.
Alright, cool.
Hi, I'm Kristen Daly. I joined KW about 12 years ago when we started KW in the city. My team is a daily group at Philly Luxury, kind of in the front row here, and I'm one of the owners of the office.
Rich Castle, I just joined recently, was working with Jeremy over at Caldwell, it's still fresh, so I'm excited to be here.
Hello everyone, my name is Min. Good morning. I joined on July 16th, was when I signed on from Long & Foster. And yeah, I came on because Tiffany recruited me over.
Hi everybody, I'm Steve Staff Money Stafford.
Wow. I was waiting for something
You
good.
know it's coming.
Yep.
I've been in the business about 4.5 years. January will be my 5th year. Started the Stafford Group. There's my 2 team members over there, Sean Doyle and Sean Witter. And what's that?
Sean's only.
Just Sean's, but just all S's in the group, Steve, Sean, and Sean. Yeah, excited to be here. KW's been very, very beneficial to our business.
I'm Steph Ellis. I've been in the business for 6 years. I was at Prudential before it was Berkshire for about 3, and I moved over to KW in Bryn Mawr, and then joined Philly Living. It's an Oshkosh team, and I've been with them for about 3 years.
Hi, I'm Tiffany Beltran. I'm from Millville. I've been in this office since February and in the business for 2 years.
Alright, question number one. My name is Jerry Springer. Alright, no, sorry. What do we do well personally right now in your personal life? Tiffany, I know you have an appointment, so we'll go with you first, right? What are you doing well right now in your personal life? Could you explain like something about maybe your PM routine or your AM routine, something like that?
Okay, I think I do a good balance of working out, spending time with my family, and my boyfriend that I've been dating since March, totally in love, and also working in the business all at once.
So tell us about your AM routine or your workout routine. Is it in the PM, AM? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
So I wake up at 6 a.m. I try to be at the gym by 7, try to be out the door by 9. It takes me an hour to get here if I work here. Sometimes I work from home. And then I lift weights at night around like 6.
Okay.
So appointments in between.
What gets in your way sometimes, or does nothing get in your way? I'm curious on your routine.
I mean, sometimes I don't feel like waking up early. Sometimes I know I'm gonna lift weights later, so I don't have to do cardio, but I like to take that time to listen to an audiobook or read it gets my mind right, and sometimes I need the cardio because I drink on the weekends. So I try to find a balance. Other things that get in the way, you know, appointments that come up, a networking event.
All right, cool. So in your workout routines, does anybody have to hold you accountable, or do you hold yourself accountable? Because that a lot of times comes up.
I guess I hold myself accountable. I train with my boyfriend who keeps me accountable like while we're there, but I definitely want to be there because I just want to be healthy and I have a certain look that I want to maintain. So I don't really let myself go more than 2 days without working out. It kills me.
Who else would like to share about a PM or AM routine that you guys think you have down pretty good?
I nominate Stafford.
I have a pretty good one, I think. But it starts, I think your AM routine starts with your PM routine. So starting there, made it a point about a year ago to start going to bed no later than 10 o'clock at night.
Wow, who gave you that tip?
Jeremy actually suggested. Because work-life balance is a really tough thing for me to do. During the day, if I had gotten up early and I was kind of beating everybody to the office and I was working hard enough, I could definitely succeed, you know, on a higher level. But there was no consistency there because, you know, I would wake up at 5 a.m. after going to bed at 12 or going to bed at 1. I like to stay up late. If I was able to get into bed at 10, I would be able to get up at 5. Now that number is actually 4:30 in the morning. I go to the gym, and that's where you get your energy from for the rest of the day. It's always getting the hardest part of the day out because I know for me, if I don't get it done first thing in the morning, I'm not going to go in the afternoon after a long day of work. So the routine is always in bed by 10, up at 4:30, at the gym till 6:30, breakfast in the office at 7:30, and then from there, you know, the day starts with meetings, phone calls, and then appointments in the afternoon.
Who else got a good one? Anybody else?
So first off, habits. A routine of behavior that is repeated regularly and tends to occur subconsciously. And I think 40 to 45% of our behavior and actions are subconscious and habitual. And the American Journal of Psychology defines a habit as a fixed way of thinking, willing, or feeling acquired through previous repetition of a mental experience. So I recently, 2 weeks ago, joined the 5 a.m.ers. We wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. We do readings every month, different book, and we have reflection points, touch points to kind of like clear our mind and kind of guide our principles in our life. And so we answer questions, we have Zoom conferences. From there, I jump in the cold shower at 6 o'clock. Cold shower all the way. It is good for your circulation, it's good for your oxygenation, it stimulates the brain and the neurotransmitters, and you do it, you time yourself. I do it in 90 seconds. So I'm in there like, win with min, in the cold shower. And it is literally like, it just boosts your energy. So from 6:15 to 7, I am writing emails, updating portals, sending things out. So when people are waking up, they have an email from me. And you know, I think putting your body and your mind through a environmental extremity is very important. You shock your neurotransmitters and your physiological state of being so that you are on your way towards evolution of your mind and body. So I take Bikram yoga, hot yoga, cold showers. From 7 to 8, I am preparing for the day, have conference calls with Tiffany and Katrina, my assistant. And then 9 o'clock, I am in the office or out in meetings. And I try to go sleep around midnight.
I heard yoga. Who else does yoga up there?
Bikram yoga.
Both of you.
Like a news anchor, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome. I do yoga too. After 4 years as an individual agent, building my business by back-to-back open houses every Sunday, I think I would host like maybe 3 or 4 at a time with half an hour in between. I developed this program of having Mondays as my day off. And then as my life became even busier, once I had my first child, who's now 7, and then my second child, who is now 5. You may from time to time see them running around in the office. I keep trying to get them here on days when their dog's here, but that doesn't seem to be working out for me. They're not good today. But I created this platform for myself, which is my mental health Monday platform. So on Mondays, I usually take an 11 o'clock bar class, and then I flow into a noon Bikram hot yoga class. So I have 2 hours of extreme kind of athletic and mental health. And usually that amount of time is good for me for the week. I may do a little bit of running or something on the weekend if I can fit it in, but my life is so full and busy right now that that mental health day of 2 hours back to back is all that I need to take care of business and myself.
Who else
You,
does,
Rich?
you,
I was clearing my throat, but
Okay, good.
you do yoga, right?
Yeah, so I agree with Stafford. It starts at night, so getting a good sleep is important. I write down all my things to do, so I can let it go. It's really about not making excuses. The only excuses are the ones you believe, like they're basically lies. So you need to be able to research what works for you, try it out, fail, succeed, and then just implement those things that you find that work for you.
Can you say that line again? Because I think it's really, really powerful what you just said about excuses.
Totally blacked out.
He's got read in a book last night, just regurgitated.
No,
You were saying about, you have to, you're basically the only ones you think that you have is what you think of in your mind. You said something like that
The
with
lies. that you talked
lies,
about
excuses.
yourself.
I got a saying for excuses.
There you
I don't
go.
know if we could share.
lay it down, guys.
You ever heard this one? Excuses are like assholes. Everybody's got one. They don't
Yeah,
stay.
yeah. They're just they're lies that you create. They're fabrications that you believe they're true. They're just really false because that's what you're comfortable with. So you have to break beyond your comfort level. You know?
Anybody else?
I have a few. I agree with these guys, it starts the night before, but it also starts with your just mental discipline during the day. And a few people in this room, Jake Dreyfus and Mike McNeilis, have kind of helped me organize my day, my routine, and also the thoughts that are constantly going in and out of your brain so that when you do get to bedtime, you're not freaking out about something, a deposit check, a reply to inspection, or whatever it'll be. And I just implemented something that I learned about myself, that if I'm not getting at least 6 hours sleep, I'm not working out. And I'm up every day between 5 and 5:15 working out. And I think we just all need to figure out what works for you, because all of us have things that are great for us. That doesn't mean it's gonna work for you. But those are some tips that help for me, the sleep and figuring out a strategy to kind of calm my brain before I go to bed.
Piggybacking off of like calming your brain, I'm like big on my morning routine and I work out. And then when I come back, usually if I have enough time, which usually I make sure I do, I'll meditate. I don't know if anyone else meditates, but that really like starts my day off the right way. It kind of like centers me and gets rid of all the like crazy thoughts that are running through your head, so that when you go into the day, you're not like all over the place. You're just very calm and like you're efficient rather than just kind of hectic and all over the place. So meditation for me has been a really impactful thing that I've implemented in my daily routine.
I'd say diet's really important too. Not like a TV diet, but like actually learning where your food is about or where it's coming from. You know, are you eating organic? Where's that organic coming from? Is it actually coming from a farm that uses high or low doses of pesticides? Does your water you drink have high or low doses of fluoride? I mean, it's learning about what's good for your internal. If you start with your organs, the rest of your life is good.
All right,
For
so you
me,
guys,
I'll just
you got
finish
one more,
off
yeah?
real quick. So, my goal is to like get to the gym by like 6 in the morning. So, before I used to get to the gym at like 7, start my day a little bit later, and then end it later because I do a lot of lead generating later on in the day. So I just switched it up. So now I hit the gym at like, now I'm up and hitting the gym at 6:30, and sooner like working towards hitting the gym at 6, and then I start my day by like 8 o'clock. And having an assistant, Katie, my assistant, helps out a lot. Takes a lot of anxiety off my head. So.
Sure, I'm a 5:30 guy, and the biggest thing I try to do is, that's the only time I'm gonna work out. And the biggest thing I think I throw out to everyone is, you gotta have your goal in your room. You know, whatever your goal is in life, and literally, and this is cheesy because I'm 42 years old, but I have it above my bed, okay? So whatever your goal is, I have it. So when you wake up at 5:30 in the morning, just look up, you will run out of bed. Okay, so that is the biggest thing for me. I came up with that when I was swimming back in the day. I would just look up, you're gonna get out of bed by 5:31. The other thing I just implemented is, I try to get all my email done by the time I come in the office. Like, get all your email done. Email is such a great excuse to do nothing. Get all your email done. When you come in here at 9 a.m. to do lead gen, it will make your mind 100% clear. And the last thing I just implemented this was 2 o'clock around that area. I literally lay down. Maybe it's like meditation or whatever, but I lay down for 15 minutes. I literally have a timer. If I fall asleep, great. But if I fall asleep for 5 minutes, I feel like maybe it's all mental. I completely recharge the battery. So that's something I just did. And at 2:15, I'm ready to do it all over again. Because listen, you guys are all waking up. Jake has the best club in the world, the 5 a.m. club. By 2 or 3 o'clock, I'm done. If you do that, just recharge your battery for 2 seconds. You can get it rolling until 5 or 6 minutes.
If you guys want more info about Jake's club afterwards, Jake told me he'd stay here for a couple of minutes and you could meet him.
Nice.
He just offered it. It was amazing.
No, but I'd love to hear, Jake, well, give us your routine in the morning.
Yeah, up at 4:50. I had to figure out a way to keep myself accountable to achieving my goals, so I figured I might as well just create a huge group that relies on me to do that, so I can't screw it up. So every morning, to your point, 3 days a week, I have to respond to a post online, which is being checked by an assistant now to make sure everyone's actually doing it. And 2 mornings a week, we lead a discussion, one around a book and another is an interview with an extraordinary person. And so I'm up to 4:50, in and out of the group by 5:15, and the gym by 5:30.
How many people in your group now?
60 active this month.
And these are very deep existential questions about life. Like
Yes.
you, literally, he's like the Deepak Chopra.
But I'll say, Jeremy kind of talked about it earlier, probably that was one of the most proud things I am, because when I was in here,
Yes.
I would do some classes and I would ask people, what time do you wake up? I got a lot of responses of 8 a.m. And I actually thought people were kidding. I was like, whoa, really? And by the way, I have 2 young kids, so they're waking me up a lot anyway. But my point is, Jake starting that 5 a.m. club is unbelievable that all you guys are waking up with a 4 or 5 in there. So it's pretty cool.
Also chug water, that's really important too. Before you go to bed and when you wake up.
And wine.
We got a question in the back.
Yeah, there's both, I just wanted to reiterate what Brian's talking about, there's actually a science, and it actually is not your brain, and it's like, what you're doing is working, taking a nap midday, but it's called When by Daniel H. Pink. He's phenomenal, he's got sales books, and he's got economic, psychological books, but When by Daniel H. Pink is exactly about the rhythms of your body and the day, and the project and the team, so I highly recommend it.
All right, so you guys are all perfect now, I've noticed. So let's get to the real stuff. You guys want some challenges?
Yeah.
All right, so what's some challenges you guys are having in balancing your personal and your business life? Not everybody jump at once.
The social aspect, especially of our business, a lot of the times, there's, if you're gonna go out and meet and network, a lot of the times network means like overeat and overdrink and then wake up late the next day. And I think that's a big challenge for not just me, but anybody. But networking events can really, they're really, really beneficial to a lot of people's business. It's a way to get in front of people and get belly to belly and really make a lot of connections. So balancing, what your intake is and like what you're, remember what you're there to do. Remembering what you're there at that event to do. You're not going to that event because it's a good way to just kind of be seen and have a couple of drinks and hang out with your friends. You're making money. That's what you're supposed to be doing. So remembering to keep that, in the forefront of your mind. That's one of the challenges that I have.
So you go to,
I do enjoy going out and having fun with my friends.
are you going to family reunion?
Yes.
All right, so here we're just literally talking about this today. If you guys haven't booked your ticket, I was shocked. You gotta book it. I didn't realize how this thing sells out. So we were booking our tickets today. A tip I would give you from going to events for many, many years, what he just talked about, is try to go 2 days before and get it out of your system. Like literally, I'm going Thursday, right? Some of us talked from the Austin trip. I'm going Thursday, Friday, get it out of my system. I'm not perfect. Friday night there's an event. Saturday, I'm ready to go. Class is Sunday. If you show up right when the thing starts and you're in New Orleans, you have a good shot of doing what? Right? Not going for the real reason. What? Yeah. So tip from many, many years ago in events, try to go like a day or two early, get it out of your system, right?
Yeah, that's one idea. The other idea is do what Christiana and I did
Yep.
at Mega Camp, where we flew in and out. We were there for 2 nights. We had a very focused amount of time. to get our networking done and to form connections with our national luxury referral network. We were not there early. We were closing business here before going there. We were on our first flight, I think Wednesday morning, super early. Got in, had a great night of networking with national contacts. And then we were on a 5 a.m. flight on Friday morning and back in Philly by 10. I think we were in the office at 10 on Friday.
You did 2 days, right?
We did 2 nights,
Yep. That's another way to do it.
Yeah, so either one is good, but just be prepared and take advantage of the time you're spending out of your market to get to know other markets and other people. That's something that I'm excited for everyone to take advantage of. And something I've always tried to do over my 12 years of being with KW is really connect and party and get to know, go to classes with people from outside of your market. We're not hanging out, just kidding. But we're like, you have to get to know people from other market centers. I was just in Austin last week. I spent quality time with people who were being affected by the hurricane in Apex, North Carolina. I spent dinners connecting with team leaders from Florida, Tampa. I spent time with Grand Rapids, Michigan. Their whole office was at our FSO class, Financial Systems Orientation. It was a great time, and it's powerful to connect with those other offices.
Who's going to family reunion in February? All right. So if you didn't raise your hand, why don't you ask a question now why you would not be there? Because it's a good time to ask the question. Anybody? So why should they go? Anybody that's been to the events, why should they go? We're talking about personal life. How can this impact their personal life?
Last year, I went for the first time. It was my first time at any KW event. It was my first time, I was a newer realtor and just finished my first year. And I went, and I will not forget, there was a session that I went to with Jeff Woods and, was it Jay? Was the other one? Yeah, and Jeff Woods, who's the One Thing podcast, and the One Thing book, he shared something very personal, which, he started the session by asking what, those of us who are married or in relationships, do we know what our partner's life goals are? And like, I just got married, and my answer was, nope, I had no idea. So that was a big eye opener for me, because what he was really talking about is making sure that you and your partner, even if your life goals are totally different, are supporting each other in your life goals, because that's gonna make your business better, right? If you're being supported at home and you're emotional and you're personal and everything else, then your business is gonna succeed better. And that was just like mind-blowing to the point where I had to like step away and process all that information right afterwards. And I couldn't even go to another session right after because it was just so much overload and so much emotion. But that was huge and eye-opening, and we're still working on it.
So your budget $2,000 to $3,000, and afterwards I'll stay here for a couple minutes. If you have questions, a couple other people, raise your hand if you've been to the events before. We'll answer any questions you have. The number one thing I've gotten over the years is, Jeremy, I don't have the capital, right? Or Jeremy, I don't have the time. We don't afford not to have the time. We don't have an expiration date. If you watch all my videos today, honestly, no one knows when we're leaving this earth, right? You have no idea. So while you're here, give it 110%. Those events are priceless, like priceless, right? You spend $2-3 grand. If you can't make 10 grand on it and get a 300% return, you did something wrong.
I just said the first event that I went to at KW was Family Reunion, and that was the first time I saw like a legit difference between all the brokerages that are around. Family Reunion is different because it's kind of like choose your own adventure. Like there's morning sessions, and then afternoon there's all breakout sessions. So if you are a buyer agent, like you can go to 3 different classes taught by the best buyer agents in all of the nation, and you can kind of like choose your path, whichever you want to focus on. That's why I love it. You're not like forced to sit there and listen to one thing the entire time. You pick your focus and then you follow that throughout the whole time. That's why I thought it was such a cool event.
Yeah. Why recreate the wheel when the best are up on stage?
Yeah.
Last time I had Jake up on stage.
Right.
Right? I mean, it's people like that.
It's really cool to go to these events because you realize that you're part of something that's bigger than yourself, your team, it's bigger than this office, bigger than the top players in this market. You're part of a family that is a global powerhouse in real estate and technology, and forming those relationships and having that awareness is massive. And then like Allison and Ryan were talking about, just being able to come and go and bob and weave in and out of classes that you can bring back to your local market and incorporate into your habits after your 5 a.m. workouts with Steve. and men. It's incredible and it's super powerful and it will catapult you into action. And I think that's what my biggest challenge is, and maybe my team's, is to take ideas and catapult yourself through action to accomplish your goals. Taking that action is what comes from going to these events. And I'm super inspired to take action right now. Even though I was just at a financial class in Austin where it was all business, it was no fun, it was no party. It was like maybe a dinner and then back to bed because I had to get up at 7 in the morning the next day to go to an all-day class. So it's a really powerful experience. Please talk to me if you have any questions about it.
What other, all right, that's awesome. So what other challenges you guys having right now you could share with people, and we're gonna open up the questions.
Building new business.
Go ahead. I think it's still like maintaining your personal time is your personal time. Something that's really important to me is I'm training for the Philly Marathon, and I actually hired a coach, which is like something I haven't done in forever. And I really protect that time. So I typically am running for like 2 hours at a time, and I take my phone with me for safety reasons, but when my phone's going off, I'm not answering it. You know, whether it's somebody that can't get in because they have a block box issue or they have a question about the property, I have just like reminded myself that nothing is life and death, and I can always answer it in an hour, and it will still be there when I'm finished. And just being really disciplined with that. I burnt myself out when I first started in the business, thinking I had to get back to everybody really fast, or they weren't going to want to work with me, or something was going to blow up. It's not true. Trust me.
I think that's a great point. I mean, I have 2 young kids, and my 6-year-old caught me checking my phone while I was reading the Bernstein Bears, and I was like, seriously, what are you doing? Like, this is ridiculous. And if someone has an emergency, they're gonna call you 2 or 3 times in a row. Get off the phone, like get focused on the one thing that you're doing. And someone calling you, it's not that important. So it's a great point.
Off of that, I've just started to make it part of my practice. I explain to my sellers, what is an emergency? Like, if you're bleeding from the head, don't call me, call 911. If the front door is open to your house, okay, you can call me. But very rarely are there like true emergencies that we really need to be called for in like that second. And then I've managed like a schedule with them too. So they know what to expect from me. They know that they're gonna hear from me, and my buyers as well, every either Monday through Friday at a certain time. So managing people's expectations is part of it.
You nailed it. Expectations
Yeah.
in marriage, business, and personal life is key. You gotta set it up front. That's very true. What else? You said, Rich, you said something. What were you saying?
I mean, one of my challenges is that I have trouble growing business consistently because I have other business that I'm tending to, and nurturing and growing that. And it's just figuring out that level of how much more do I take on based on what I already have. So it's scaling.
Who else got some more
I think
challenges?
you know, with the scheduling and stuff is lead generation. I think is like the elephant in the room for 90% of realtors. I'd just say.
Probably more.
Even me, yeah, probably 100%. And I think if you say to somebody like make 100 phone calls and I guarantee you'll make $10,000, like wouldn't you make the 100 phone calls? But even knowing that in the back of your head, it's like you still figure out something else to do. And it's kind of that balance that you guys were talking about. Like get off the phone, don't answer that email, and get yourself focused on making those calls and really carving out 2 to 3 hours every single day to just lead generate, just make phone calls, and it'll turn into money. And you know that, but it's like trying to make sure that you stick to it. That's the difference.
So be in the moment. As you get older in life, you'll realize how important this is. You brought it up earlier. Be in the moment, and you can't get time back. What you just told me, right, was you're in the moment more than you were before. Well, before you were everywhere. Now when you're doing something, you're more in the moment. Is that fair?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Jeff Quinton teaches a great class, and he comes back here a lot. You guys should all take it. And he literally from 9 to 12 just does lead generation. His wife knows not to call from 9 to 12. If she's calling, it's an emergency. But everyone, it's expectations. Everyone he knows don't call me from 9 to 12. You're not going to get a call back. So it's great. I love what Jeremy said and stuff. So.
We gave our phones to our assistants in the mornings. You couldn't get in touch with us. We called from office lines. The downfall of that was we learned was many people didn't pick up because they didn't know the number. I don't know if there's a way to turn off your phone for, yeah, there is, turn off the ringer part and just call out. was another way, because what happened was we were prospecting, the phone calls would come in on other stuff, you get distracted. But our numbers went up, we doubled our numbers just by not having our phone for 3 hours a day. Jeff Quinton, if you ask Jeff to come here, you literally might have to give him like $100 grand or something like that. Like something crazy, I'm just joking on the money. But Thursdays is his day, he doesn't book anything on Thursdays. He's that strict about his schedule. But it's hard, because he's had a lot of challenges, he talks about it. Anybody else have challenges before we open up for questions?
Yeah, I have a challenge getting a vacation to myself, also learning how to play golf or be better at it. I was gonna start doing it on Saturday, but then this past Saturday, the weather was fantastic. I went out lead generating and picked up more business. I'm like, so I can't do it on Saturdays either, because it's a great lead generating day for me. So it's like, so I have Sunday left. That's the only day I have left in the week. And that's football. That's it. There's nothing else getting in the way. Go birds, fly, go fly. So that's it. So all I have now is Sunday, so I gotta figure out some other time to work on some golf or, take some time apart to go on a vacation. I haven't taken a vacation so long.
Yeah, there's a mindset though, so if you are successful with convincing yourself that personal life is just as important as business life, that's where your breakthrough is gonna be.
Yeah.
I agree. The last 3 years, I've created a shift where I realized I was missing out on valuable hours with my kids, and they were in aftercare after school. School would get out at 3, and they were in aftercare for a couple of hours. And so last year, I made the commitment to pick my kids up every day at 3. And I can't wait to do it again this year. It's super valuable time that I spend with them. And then they need to go to bed between 7 and 8, and they don't sleep very well. So I now have them in activities that will tire them out, like swimming or riding, or we walk or we bike, but I know how to manage that time well with them and create quality time and memories. And then I may check into work after 8 o'clock or something like that. But my team knows that I am pretty much unavailable between 3 and 8.
So there's this habit loop where there's 3 components. The first is CUE, which is your trigger mechanism, something visual or auditory stimulation that kind of triggers within you a habitual routine. And that's the second component, the routine, which is usually on self-pilot. You kind of have this muscle memory that's built into you, where you kind of do things subconsciously. And then the third component of the habit loop is the reward, which is the production of endorphins and all of that stuff. So, for example, if you want to run in the morning, put your running shoes next to your bed, control your environment. That's going to trigger a mechanism within you to run. And when you're running, you have your muscle memory, and then your reward is a piece of chocolate or something that produces endorphins. And if you see on like a brain iteration, there's a lot of stimulation here in the cue, and then stability in the routine, and then reward you're stimulating again. So I always try to use trigger mechanisms and rewards, and that's something that I think is a challenge for me to consistently compound on that.
Dr. Ming.
I like it.
One thing adding to the prospecting thing, because that's definitely my biggest struggle, was staying consistent with just making sure I'm making a certain amount of contacts. So I put together like a spreadsheet that I'm going to use. If anyone wants the template, you can reach out to me. I posted it on the Facebook group, but it's like basically just every day for the next 7 weeks, and it has like 10 circles on it, and I need to make at least 10 contacts every single day of like a new seller who I'm talking to who's a decision maker. So I'm gonna I know a few other people reached out to me about staying accountable with it, so if anyone else is interested in that, reach out.
So we got the 5 a.m. club, we got the WhatsApp app group. If you want more info on the WhatsApp group, we're talking at 7 a.m. each day. He shared it on there also. No, you only shared it on the KW Philly.
I
We should share it on there too, yeah. All right, so what question you guys have? We got 5, get some time for questions. What do you guys got?
Not
all at once. Round up.
One tip, you can always turn your call waiting off, and that was the most awesome thing I ever did to my phone, to not get interrupted.
How about the email dinging? Raise your hand if you got the email dinging.
Oh, yeah.
Raise your hand, come on. We know you're here. You're secret, huh? That's probably one of the worst things you could ever do. What's the reason for doing that? It's a drug. It's called I gotta be in control, right? Turn that thing off, you'll see how your life changes when people. Do you think Steve Jobs had an email dinger on his system? No, he actually said he never even liked email, right?
You have one, don't you?
No way. You'll never see, no notifications.
Immediately.
Text is the only thing that's gonna ding my phone. That is it. Nothing else. Instagram, Facebook, emails, nothing. Try to go without that. Like once you change, you're like, holy crap, it's like drinking 6 cans of soda a day. And then you leave and you're like, wow, I feel good, right? It's bad. It's eventually just, it's pattern interruptions. You can't get into the mood of anything or the mode of anything because ding, ding, here comes Susie, boom, right? So, come on, what's some questions? You guys gave a lot of information. Share it for I got 5 minutes of questions. Huh? Alright.
Alright, so I actually noticed one of the biggest time wasters this time of the year is fantasy football. Like researching everything, looking up weather. How do you guys get
1-3 last week, what was the?
I actually went,
I went 4-0, I was 4-0, see, we're wasting time right
I
now.
was like 4-0, yeah. But, so how do you guys find, especially this year with this season, with all that, how do you get past that? If, Sunday's like your football day and everything.
I mean, Sunday, I'm just never gonna not watch football on Sunday. So you just gotta schedule that in. You know what I mean? I think it's just like what we were saying, like making personal time is just as valuable as your business time. I mean, if you think you're at a point where you need to make a sacrifice for your personal time in order to get to a place where you can value it the same as your business, then do that for a couple of months or a couple of years until you have like a nest egg or something underneath you where you feel like I can give that day to myself. But yeah, I mean, I think that's what you have to be prepared for. Nobody's saying like if you're just getting started in this business and you really want to hit the ground running, then you should probably focus as much energy and time into it as possible.
Is that taking up too much of your time? Is that your question?
Just, I think not so much even like game day, but like there's so much like overthinking.
Yes.
Well, what's the reward? Let me ask you that. What's the reward? I mean,
It's all bragging rights.
everybody's got like $100 in the pool or something like that. So then you look at that and you're like, man, I'm spending 2 or 3 hours a night like watching ESPN and stuff for maybe $1,000 4 months down the road.
I'll give you an answer on it. I quit it because I think it's stupid. And here's the reason why. Not making you guys say that you do it. I figured out I was going to win $1,000 at the end of the season. I made $1,000 in 3 hours prospecting. So for me, I had to have that mindset shift that once I can afford not to do it, then I'll go back to fantasy football because I love it. Not that they say fantasy football's stupid, but it was costing me money to do it. So I figured out how much time I was spending per week. And you nailed it. I was spending 4 to 8 hours a week researching and playing with stuff.
Plus
So I
everybody
figured
knows
out
it
the
comes down to your draft. I mean, that's real.
I'll answer that question, Joe,
Like-
real quick.
Yeah,
Sorry.
then can I step
Yeah,
in? I mean, use it, I'm a big networker, like use it as a networking opportunity.
there you
Make
go.
sure every single person on your fantasy football league knows you are in real estate, and one of them I'm sure is gonna need real estate help within the next year or so, like make sure they know that. Like I got invited to a tailgate Sunday morning before the Eagles game. Now realistically my time's probably better spent doing an open house, but quite frankly my open house conversion rate stinks. So why not go to a tailgate with all these people who I know who are eventually gonna be buying and selling in Philadelphia?
That's a great way to do it.
Don't try to look at the silver lining of things because if you like fantasy football, continue doing that and then just network and those people can all be your Mets or contacts for a week.
Are you any good?
Oh,
You can join our league if you're bad.
4 years in a row, one.
No,
2 weeks,
so
1
yeah,
year.
alright.
But I
He's not
think
quitting.
A good pivot from that, honestly, is like, when you're out and you meet people, there's always like, especially if you don't know them, there's always like something you connect with them to. Connect
Sure.
to them. And I did notice that's actually something people are always down to talk about, or you always notice like you overhear people or you hear people see people perk up. And so on the pivot side, it's actually a good way to just kind of build a network and.
The quickest way to get someone to do business with you is make them, first they gotta feel like they know you, then they'll like you, then they'll trust you, then they'll do business with you. And if they can relate with you, then those 3 things are pretty easy to accomplish.
Just align it with your goals. And with me, I didn't have a middle button because I don't. So for me, I had to turn it off because I couldn't align with my goals. But if you can align it, hell yeah, do it.
It depends where your why is bigger.
That's it, right.
Like my why is bigger generating new business and helping clients versus fantasy football because that's gonna take too much of my time. And I would love to do it, but yeah.
But if that's his hobby, you're allowed to choose your hobbies and like things that
Absolutely.
you enjoy.
For sure.
So
You need an outlet.
if there's
Yeah.
skills around it, maybe you need to incorporate business.
Yeah.
Otherwise, give permission to do our hobbies. It's like,
Your dumb down time.
All right, one last question, and we got a special guest for you. All right, one more question. All right, nope. All right, we're done with questions. All right, good job. All right, so we got
Can we hear him?
Jaime from Bold, who's going to be the Bold coach coming. Where's he at today? Is he in Punxsutawney? Where's he at?
Texas.
Texas.
Can you all hear me?
We can hear you.
All right. Now I'm just waiting so I can see you.
You don't want to see us.
I think it's just me. Do you want me to put it on?
You can't see everybody, so we'll just watch you. You look good.
You don't want to see us. Okay, just keep me right there. That'll be good. All right. Hey, listen. How's everybody doing today?
Good.
All right. Hey, listen. Are you having a good morning so far?
yeah.
Oh my gosh. You know, whoever's holding the camera, go ahead and just do like a little view. That way you look. I see people sitting on desks. Yeah, we got a full house today.
That's what happened. We do in Philly, baby.
All right.
100 people. No, how many people got here? 57?
So here's the great thing about technology is that you can see me and I can see you. So whenever I say write something down or participate, I get to see who's participating and who's not. Hey, who's that handsome gentleman right over there? I see him. That's me. Oh yeah. All right. Well, listen. So I'm going to go through some questions for you. You know, there's a lot of people asking, you know, who's our Bold coach? Who's this? And I'm just going to give you a little rundown about me. Is that okay?
Yep. Far away. I've been talking for 50 minutes. They're tired.
So here's the thing. Hey, you know what? If you've been talking for 15 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and get you into action right now. Now go ahead and write down. Does everybody have a registration form in hand?
No.
Okay. Does everybody have something to write with?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and write down numbers 1 through 6. 1 through 6. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now I get to see who's participating and who's not participating. Now, what I'm going to ask you, the first question is just going to be a yes or no question. Now listen, I'm ready to go over there and coach you for the next 7 weeks. Now, our coaching actually starts today. Okay? It starts today, and because when you enroll in something, when you enroll, you create a possibility that didn't exist before. So by enrolling today, you're actually creating possibilities that didn't exist before. Now, first one, these are right or wrong, no yes or no, or no judgment, no good or bad. Write down yes or no. Did you achieve your financial goal in the last 12 months? Just yes or no. Did you achieve your financial goal in the last 12 months? Now, on number 2, I'm going to go fast real quick because I have about 6 minutes before I have to run back into the Bold room. The next question number 2, I want to ask, what is the gap? If your answer was no, what was the gap? Meaning, if your goal was $100,000 and you hit $70,000, your gap would be $30,000. Write down if there was your answer was no, write down a gap. All right. Question number 3. Question number 3, write down your average commission. What is your average commission check? Now this is gross commission. Don't think about net or anything like that. Just what is your average gross commission? What I want you to do on number 4, take that average gross commission and multiply it by 10. Multiply it times 10. Everybody got it? We got it? Now, on number 5, it's going to be a yes or no question. Yes or no question. Is the answer to number 2 or number 4 greater than $7.99? Now, usually I see some chuckles going on because something just happened. Is the answer to number 2 or number 4 greater than $7.99? Okay, I can tell by the looks on the faces right there. On number 6, it's going to be another yes or no question. And the yes or no question is going to be, do you consider yourself a great investor? Meaning if you saw a good investment, you would go and you would hop right on it.
Minimize the screen.
Yes or no? Alright, so listen, so I trust everybody has just gotten writing some stuff down, and that's exactly what Bold is. Bold is an investment in you. Bold is an investment in yourself. In fact, write this down. 90% of business is mindset. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, you're echoing, we're trying to fix it, but I hit mute, but
Okay.
you keep going, we're doing great.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So, write this down. 90% of business is mindset. 90% of business is mindset. In fact, 90% of everything we do in our life is mindset. 90% of parenting, mindset. 90% of health, mindset. 90% of diet is mindset. Now, listen, how many of us have ever set goals before, and before we can even get started on those goals, a little voice in our head starts talking us out? Give me a raise of hand. Raise your hand if that's ever happened to you. All right, how many of you are not going to raise your hand no matter what I say? There we go. All right, so listen, so I want to talk about energy for a little bit, because right now, you can feel my energy and I can feel your energy. And what I want you to think about right now is, what is your energy saying about you? What is your energy saying about you? And in fact, let's talk about, we either have positive energy or we have what energy? And that's negative energy. That's negative energy there. Either we have positive or we have negative energy. And let's talk about it. When we think about our family, what kind of energy is that? You there?
Yeah, we got some faces.
Okay, gotcha. So we have so when we think about our family, what kind of energy is that?
Positive energy.
It's positive energy. So let's talk about money real quick. When we think about money, what kind of energy is money? Positive or negative?
Positive.
Yeah, positive. I'm so glad we're going to get along just fine. And the reason we say positive, listen, can money provide experiences for us and our family?
Yes.
Yes. Can money help the poor?
Yes.
Can money help just our family in general?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's so positive. And what we're gonna do in Bold is that we're gonna make a lot of money, and we're gonna be able to help our family, we're gonna have a great Christmas, and we're gonna start our 2019 with a bang. Now listen, what I like to do on every single one of these is provide you value, okay? What do I like to do? Provide you value. And what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna teach you something, just a lesson. It's called the Ultimate Success Formula. Ultimate Success Formula. Now, the first step on the Ultimate Success Formula is know your outcome. Know your outcome. Go ahead and write this stuff down. Know your outcome. You gotta set a goal. Know your outcome. The second one is that you gotta get into action. You gotta get into action. And the third step is knowing your numbers. You gotta know your numbers. And then the fourth step is you gotta make adjustments all the time. Now, Jeremy, I think, did you just sit down?
Yep.
Yeah. So, Jeremy, how many people do we have in the room right now?
What do you guys think? 40, 50?
Yeah.
40.
So we got about, so let's just say 40 or so. Now, 40, how many of you would like to show up to First Step to Bold and leave with 2 to 3 referrals from your Met database? Meaning, you show up to a class and you leave with 2 to 3 Met referrals in 2 to 3 referrals from your Met database. Raise your hand. Raise them higher. Okay, Jeremy, do me a favor. No, raise your hand. Jeremy, do me a favor. Everybody that's raising their hand right now, will you get their commitment to register for the First Step to Bold?
Yeah, Brian Walter's gonna lock the door. We got it.
Okay, gotcha. All right, now here's another thing, that you're really gonna lock the door after this. Now here's the thing.